All right, y'all, we'll go ahead and start and kick this meeting off because I know everyone is busy. It's been a long day. Also, I definitely don't want to take up the majority of your evening. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to log on, to be a part of the community update meeting. I know it's been a while, and I don't think some of you have seen my face before. So I just want to start off introducing myself as Walter Slaton. I am part of Stream Realty. I'm an associate there. I've been with Stream about a year or so, and before that, I was in investment sales, and now with Stream, I'm doing office, and as well as I'm also the newly appointed property management, as well as doing leasing at Pittsburgh Yards. So most of you I've talked to, I've either emailed, I've texted, and I know some of you are looking at me like this dude owes me an email return or a text, and I may have one that I may be sending to you as we have this meeting. So, but definitely glad to be part of the team. I'm also a resident of the West End, so I'm definitely part of this project from both a personal as well as a professional standpoint, and want to make sure that you, as residents of Pittsburgh, as well as residents of Southwest Atlanta, as well as tenants and or co-working members of Pittsburgh Yard, have a great experience. So we will open up the chat. So if anyone has any questions or concerns, we're gonna leave a little time for Q&A so we can get through most of the updates that we have for you guys. But before I start that, are there any questions or concerns as it relates to anyone that would have, that you know that has not received the updated, that you know that wanted to be a part of this meeting, the updated meeting invite info? Because I know I got a couple texts that I had to send the new information to. Having seen none, I will move on. All right, so we'll start off with, again, as I mentioned, Pittsburgh Yards. We're in the next phase. I think the last time there was a meeting, we were talking about opening up. And now we're at that grand day that most of you were looking for, where we've got our certificate of occupancy, and we are now ready to start to allow tenants to open the space. Today was our official opening day to allow for that. Although we did not have any tenants into the building today, we plan to start to have that happen on an incremental basis, on an appointment basis for tenants to enter the space, starting throughout this day towards the end of the month, with our official opening date being on October the 1st. So hip hip hooray for that. I know some of you have been sitting and waiting for that for over a year or so. So we have crossed that threshold now where we are ready to move to the next step. There are a couple of things that we're still trying to get addressed for you all. So when you come into the building, you will have, I'm sorry, I'm still admitting people to the room. You will have the experience that we want you guys to have once you enter the building. So we have a couple of punch list items that we still are addressing, but for the most part, most of those should be done by the end of the month, so the building will be ready for you when you enter the space. Just one item of housekeeping. We will be looking for a community manager role, and I will share my screen now so you can see, and hopefully you can see my screen. This is the role that we will be looking for to fill as soon as possible. It should be active on the website now, where you're able to see the job description as well as the qualifications. But we're looking for someone to be in the community management role. This role will be kind of the person that will be on site and be in charge of, not only being a face of Pittsburgh Yards, but also being a primary contact and also coordinating events, being involved in terms of event planning, also having responsibilities as it relates to on the AP side, accounts receivable, working with the tenants in both on our residential side as well as the leasing in the units. Can you see my screen? Okay. I thought I heard someone say they couldn't see my screen. And so that is a role that we would be looking to fill as soon as possible. If anyone is interested in this, and I can actually send you the actual job description document, either email or I can load it to the meeting Dropbox. Definitely contact me. We definitely want to have you be part of the team. Stop sharing and let us know. Okay. Any questions about that? All right, moving on. So we'll move on to our more administrative tasks. We're going to talk about where we are as it relates to the construction update, or more or less the completion of the construction aspect of Pittsburgh Yards. And we're going to have one of our team members, Ms. Chantel, is going to speak to that. She's going to give us an update. And after her, we're also going to have an update as it relates to our southwest portion of the BeltLine. We're going to have Mr. Nathan, as well as I think he may also be having a partner from the engineering side that will be able to speak to that as well. I thought I saw, did I see her on here?
Yeah, Hope.
I did see Hope. Okay, I didn't want to say if I didn't see your name. Okay, so yeah, we got Ms. Hope as well to speak to that. So Chantel, whenever you're ready.
Hey. So I'm going to share my screen here so everyone can see the progress thus far. Hopefully everyone can see that. Can you see it? Raise your hands.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So let's just back up a little bit. For those of us that may be just newly joining us, have never been to a community update meeting, just finding out about the project. What the heck are we building out there? So phase 1 of Pittsburgh Yards consists of 15 acres of the entire 31-acre site. So that's what you've been seeing if you walk by or driven by as of late in terms of development. Most importantly, we're adjacent to the Atlanta BeltLine Southside Trail, which is a big part of the connectivity that we're focused on in regards to the project. What you'll see out there currently, we have additional ground lease pads that we have prepped for development that will be site ready for other folks to come out and build buildings to see that job creation that we hope for and plan for the site. Companies will be invited out to build to suit their own buildings, and Pittsburgh Yards will be offering that land through a ground lease. That land is currently being marketed through a commercial real estate brokerage team, the team of Red Rock and Smith Real Estate Services. So Stream Realty, Walter is responsible for leasing up the NIA building, which we'll talk more about. And we have another team that's actively marketing those pad sites. And their signage info is out there on site right now in case you want to get in contact with them if you have interest. You'll see the James Bridges Field, affectionately named after one of our influential Pittsburgh community members. It is the length of a regulation-sized soccer field. There'll be open use for the community, but we really like to see regular programming with the emphasis on youth and, of course, community members out there hosting events. There's this newfangled concept called a container courtyard where we'll see businesses that have converted shipping containers into uses for retail and office space as well as restaurants. And then there's the kind of the heartbeat of Pittsburgh Yards, the NIA building, named after, or I should say named by the community. It means a place of purpose, and again, it's that anchor that holds down Pittsburgh Yards currently. And what the NIA building consists of is 101 workspaces ranging in size from 100 to 350 square feet. We're gonna see 2 conference rooms / classrooms inside of the NIA building, as well as amphitheater space for community members and tenants to host events. We're also offering membership access to these spaces as well. There's shared use commercial kitchen space, which everyone has heard about, and we know that we lack that on the south side of Atlanta, as well as a market cafe space, which will be managed by an operator. And we'll have additional shared space throughout the building for those co-working memberships, as well as 5 residential units. And Pittsburgh Yards will also be the new home of the Casey Foundation Atlanta Civic Site team, which I'm a part of. Can't wait to move in. And what I'm really super excited about is the rooftop access that is in the north portion of the building on top that will be available for tenant use as well as hosting events as well. So where are we now in the project, excuse me. Walter mentioned we have received the certificate of occupancy from the City of Atlanta's Office of Buildings, and that essentially permits us to use the NIA building, in the way that it's intended to be used. You'll see that the construction fencing has gone away. I've already seen folks coming onto the site and riding bikes through and, kind of seeing it activated already, even though we're technically still under construction. As Walter stated, we're in what's called the punch list phase of the construction, which really means we're on the path to project closeout. Now we're just going back through the building and site with literally a fine-tooth comb in areas such as painting, some minor electrical and plumbing work, and safety concerns such as trip hazards in the flooring. Because again, we want to ensure Pittsburgh Yards is at its absolute best aesthetically and most importantly, safe for access by businesses and residents such as you. Now, some other cool things that are happening. You'll see exterior signage going up pretty soon. The NIA building will have its name on it finally. So you'll be able to see that as you're driving down University Avenue from the street. That'll be going above the main entrance. There's this cool graphic inspired signage that will be displayed at the south entrance of the NIA building, which faces the Atlanta BeltLine. And then we have the interior design elements that are currently being installed inside of the NIA building to give it some character to the existing industrial feel of the space. And this includes community-inspired art projects that everyone hopefully got a chance to participate in selecting, including that portrait project featuring you and your neighbor's spaces is currently being installed on one of the walls in the reception area. So that concludes the construction update. And I'll turn it back over to you, Walter.
All right, thanks for that. And I just wanted to say, just before I give the controls to Nathan for his piece, and Hope as well, is that behind me, I know some of you are probably wondering, where is that guy? He's sitting with all those industrial columns and walls and tall windows. I'm actually in the main office, the property management office at Pittsburgh Yards. So I'm actually doing a test run of the site, so to say, for you guys, and hosting the meeting from this location on site. So I just wanted you guys to kind of get a glimpse of what Pittsburgh Yards looks like. As you can see, that large window behind me brings in so much natural light. I really love the space, just in terms of the kind of feel that it gives. It's just like unlike any other type of office space that you would find anywhere else on the BeltLine. But having said that, I'll pass it on to Nathan as well as Ms. Hope, and let them give us a quick update as it relates to the Southwest Trail.
All right, thank you, Walter, and thanks for having Hope and I tonight. I am Nathan Soldat. I'm one of our community engagement managers at Atlanta BeltLine Inc. Whitney Fuller's my counterpart. She's also a community engagement manager. She's not with us this evening, but as we mentioned, we do have the distinct pleasure of having Hope Gist, our civil engineer, and specifically the project manager for Southside Trail, the western segment construction that she's going to cover. We've been doing community engagement for quite a few years on general design of the Southside Trail, which is closer to a 4-mile segment. But we started doing public meetings in November, so almost a year ago, for this section of the trail, as we were ramping up to go into construction, which happened earlier this spring. We have now done 2 virtual meetings. We did one in May, I believe it was May 19th, and then we just had one August 31st. So the information that was shared August 31st is really pretty up to date. I mean, construction changes quickly, and Hope is going to cover a few of those things briefly. But I strongly encourage y'all, and I'll put some links in the chat. But one of the nice things about virtual meetings, because there's certainly some drawbacks, is that we have a chance, just like y'all are doing, to record our meetings and post it online for people to see, along with our presentations. And then we've also taken the additional step of formulating answers, whether the questions were asked live or we didn't get through all the questions in our Q&A sessions. Those do take a week or two. It's just labor intensive. So I wanted to be brief and give Hope the floor for a few minutes, and then we probably have time for a couple questions. And if you ever want to have a much longer update, just give us a heads up, and we'll see if we can make it happen. Hope?
All right, thanks, Nathan. Thanks, everyone. Like Nathan said, my name is Hope Gist, and I am the project manager for the Southside. Just a quick thing. Nathan clipped some slides from one of our previous meetings last minute, so bear with me as we kind of go through this pretty quickly. We weren't able to obviously invite the contractor, but if there are any questions that I can answer, I did text the project manager, so I should be able to either get an answer later on, or you can email Nathan or I if necessary. So just let me move this out of the way. So this slide just shows where the project extends for the Southside Trail. We're starting at the end of the West Side Trail. You can see on the left side of the presentation, near University Avenue, and at Alien Avenue, we are putting in an access path that is not going to be paved. As you can see in the dashed line, but continuing on to Metropolitan, we actually are putting together at this point a pedestrian bridge that is separate from the current bridge that currently spans Metropolitan Parkway. Also, moving along, one of the big exciting parts for Pittsburgh Yards is we're going to have an access point from Pittsburgh Yards to the Capitol View Manor community. If you guys go out to Pittsburgh Yards today, you'll see a concrete pad that has some stainless steel bollards, just to give you an idea of like where along the corridor that access point will be. So right now we're slowly going through, but at that point you would actually be able to walk up McDaniel and go through to get to the Capitol View Manor neighborhood. So this is a really big access point for both communities to really be able to connect the Pittsburgh community and the Capitol View Manor community to the south. And also just continuing east, we're going to stop the trail. It's likely like 50 feet beyond where Pittsburgh Yards ends. If you guys decide to take a look at another presentation that the BeltLine has put together, I think our quarterly briefing, we go through the timeline, well, not the timeline, but the strategy that we use to break up the rest of the Southside Trail. And so I think that's really important for the community to understand, just to know that after this segment is done, we are going to be continuing on to connect the rest of the South Side of Atlanta. Next slide.
Sorry, Hope, I only brought this slide.
Okay.
I can pull it down if you need me to. I thought you might just kind of generally speak over this slide.
Does anyone have any questions? Anything that you're seeing out there you have questions about? Like Nathan said, you can take a look at the presentation that we put together on the 31st. I go into some updates in detail. And Nathan, we don't have a date for the next meeting, do we?
We think that we'll meet again before the year's out. We try to meet at least quarterly during construction projects, and then sometimes we have one-offs when we have something that has more impact to the community, like a road closure or something of that nature.
And so one thing I do want to add, just for this community, we don't have an exact date, but we do anticipate a road closure so that we can place the pedestrian bridge at Metropolitan. So definitely please look to our website. That meeting is going to be separate from the construction meeting that we generally hear for updates, just to give the community an overview about what that will look like. And we only anticipate that to be 1 to 2 weekends, not Monday through Friday, along Metropolitan. So are there any?
And before you jump into questions real quick, I did place all the meeting materials. The first link in the chat is for that. So it's going to be your recordings of the virtual meetings, previous presentations, anything to do with Southside Trail, as well as our general Southside Trail landing page, which is sort of less public engagement and just more informational. You can submit comments on our meetings page. I also place my contact information in the chat. We do all kinds of outreach, so we don't just do emails. We do postcards, we do yard signs. We will take your phone number, we'll text you. We will, like I said, we'll mail you through postcards, and of course we'll do email and all of our social media. So long story short, if you're looking to get plugged in, just hit me up on my contact information, and we'll figure out the best way that we can be in communication with you guys.
And Nathan, I just want to add one more thing that I forgot to mention. So of course, right now we're kind of chugging along with construction, but I just want to mention that currently as it stands, we haven't had any significant delays. Rain days like we've had the past couple of days sometimes slow things down, but not to a halt too much. But currently we're looking at midsummer next year as a completion date. And once we get closer to that time frame, we'll provide a little bit more information.
Do we have time for a question or two if anyone has one? Otherwise, we certainly appreciate you guys' time. No hard questions for Hope?
Walter, do you have any further in terms of any tenant expectations? Any questions that you've heard so far?
Well, I mean, I think you answered most of the questions that people had. Most of it was in reference to when was it going to be complete, where were the entry points. I get a lot of interest in terms of that, where the entry points are going to be from Pittsburgh Yards. We spoke to that. And so one of the other things people are asking about, I didn't hear you mention, I guess, the component of light rail. Everyone's kind of interested in when that will be. And I know your eyebrows are probably raising about that, but yeah, that's one of the questions everyone's kind of.
I could answer a little bit of that. So, at part of this construction project is just the trail. The light rail component is in planning, but that's definitely farther out in the future than right now. But it'll be a paved trail, just like what you guys see on the West Side Trail, and also what you guys see on the East Side Trail. Lighting, cameras, the whole shebang, just to make sure that people are safe out there, and also, landscaping, trees. Currently, right now, out there, you guys see that you know, we had to remove kudzu and all those type of things, but we'll be putting in, you know, regular plantings so that there will be shade when walking the trail. All right.
All right. Any other questions or concerns for our BeltLine experts? I really want to appreciate you guys again. I know it was a short notice for jumping on the call. I always appreciate the updates that you guys provide.
No problem. It looks like there is maybe one question
A question.
in the chat. Do you see it, Hope?
There's a question for
Pedestrian
he asked
flashing.
about whether or not the trail is supposed to be finished in a year's time. What happened to push that back?
So I can tell you now, when we kind of started, we got our contractor in place, but there were other things that needed to be done before the contractor actually started work. So some of it was out of our control. Mainly, we had to get a permit from GDOT. We did start some stuff that wasn't related to Metropolitan before, but also, as I mentioned in another meeting that we had, there was some utility relocation by Verizon that we had to make sure didn't delay the contractor. So what we did was kind of shifted a little bit, but we still gave that contractor the 1 year time frame to complete.
Okay, and it looks like someone asked about a safety issue, but I think that may be more of a public work concern. But they're asking about pedestrian crossing, I guess from Pittsburgh Yards to University Avenue. Is that a BeltLine question, or is that just a safety question?
I can provide some background on that. So as part of the BeltLine, we aren't doing any upgrades to University that is east of Metropolitan. However, BeltLine does have a concept study open right now to do some upgrades to University. And Councilmember Shepherd has spoken on this at a couple of other meetings. So that concept report and concept project is in the works. But in terms of any details, I don't have an answer on like what specific safety features would be a part of that.
Yeah, Sean Green is a project manager for the university concept work, and I'll put his email in the chat.
Okay, great. Thanks, Nancy. Any other question or concerns for the BeltLine team? All right. I don't see any other questions, and thanks for putting your contact as well as the information in reference to the docs and the links as well in the chat.
You're not trying to answer no further questions.
We will move on. The next item we have is another project I think that everyone will probably be glad to hear about. The first phase of the brick program has been installed. And we do have the lovely Michelle Jones to speak to that. She's going to give us an update. She also is going to give us information in reference to how, if you want to participate in the second phase, how you're able to do that.
Yes, I'll tell you about it.
Go ahead, Michelle.
You can rub my scalp and I'll lay on your lap.
Hello.
You good, Michelle? I don't think we can hear you.
Hello.
Are you all talking to me now?
Hear you now, yeah.
Oh, well, you know, I don't know if this is the right forum to address this, but I don't ever get the meetings in the Zoom. I get the Microsoft link or whatever. I just called Miss Mary Gay to even get the link for Zoom. And I tried to call the number. So
yeah, hold on, we'll just put that in the chat
Yeah, that's why I said, yeah, and even right now. So that's why I said I just want to address that really quick. I don't want to take up the time with that.
Okay, yeah, definitely put that in the chat and then I'll follow up with you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Michelle. We still can't hear you for some reason. You are not on mute.
But I do have a question.
Yeah, for some reason we can't hear you, Michelle.
Can you hear me now?
Crackling.
No. Hold on. I see you talking, but I don't see.
It says the host keeps muting me.
Baby.
I hear you, Michelle.
So basically, if anybody can hear me, one of my questions was about the path.
Giovanni, hold on.
People bought.
Giovanni, hold on a second, because we'll address that towards the end of the meeting. We're trying to get Michelle Jones linked up so she can speak to the brick project.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah, for whatever, Michelle, we can't hear you. So what I would do is we will move on to the next technical issues. Hilarious. We will move on to Mr. Troy Banks. I think I saw him on here as well. He's going to give us an update. Yeah, I see you now. He's going to give us an update on, I'm sorry, y'all, on the farmer's market in reference to that project. Go ahead, Troy.
We have some exciting news about the market. It kind of just came to fruition about a week ago. The market is going to have a one-day market in conjunction with the Breed Love cohort and the Create cohort. That'll be next Saturday at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So come out, support the entrepreneurs. It's actually going to be the graduation for the two cohorts, and then the market will be towards the front of the North Lawn. So yeah, make your way out and support all the entrepreneurs. We're also going to be having a Zoom call next week to address just getting people ready for the market. What we're learning is a lot of entrepreneurs, they need the steps from like square one. So we're going to take our time and just get people prepared for the market. Since there's no real timeline on when we're going to open the market, our job right now is just to get people prepared, and as far as getting your business all the way solidified, from EIN numbers to how to market your business. So we're going to be working on that, and I can get the link out to anybody that wants it for the Zoom call next week.
I like that.
We also have the website is www.pittsburghcommunitymarket.org, and right now it's kind of just a landing page to talk about it. Just give interest, I guess, but we're going to be reconfiguring the website to actually house our entrepreneurs once we get everything rolling and together. So we also, during the pandemic, during the break, we put together logos. We have the rules and regulations for anybody that wants to get that information. We'll also have like a complete breakdown, like I said, on the call next week. So I'll be sending out the links to anybody that wants them, the passcodes, things of that nature. And remember, next Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., there's going to be a one-day market. Anybody who's interested in vending, we still have slots available. There's not going to be a charge to vend, except with the market. Well, right now, I just saw the question, would the market be a recurring event? Right now, this is just a one-time market. The market will be reoccurring, but as of right now, it's just a one-time event. And how it's looking, depending on how COVID pans out, the market may not open until next market season. You got to think it's already September. You got October, November, and some markets last into December, but most they shut off at the end of November. So it's only really 2 more months left in this market season. So we might make it to that, we might not. And if not, then we'll be getting, like I said, the website organized to possibly, we've already talked to the development team as far as making Pittsburgh Yards like a landing site for when we do have the website to order your products online and pick them up at the actual 352 University. So those are 2 or 3 things that the market's been working on. And like I said, join the call next week. We'll be excited to have you. And that's all I have.
Thanks a lot, Tron. Any other questions or concerns in reference to the banks? All right, so we're gonna try to get Ms. Jones on here one more time. Go ahead. Let's see if we can make this happen.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, wow, yes.
Great,
See you in here.
thank you. Walter, could you put up the 3 slides that I sent you, perchance? And
I can.
Okay, thank you. And as he's doing that, yes, we are excited that we got the first bricks installed, and they are the southwest corner of University Avenue in McDaniel. And so we're excited about that. Thank you. I see some of you all that are here have purchased bricks, so thank you for participating. And the bricks are still on sale. Walter's going to pull up just a couple of facts about the amount of bricks, but as he's doing that, we sold a total of 328 bricks for that section, and of that, NPU-V participated and bought 202. The Pittsburgh community bought 155 of those 202. And Capitol View 16, Capitol View Manor 11, Adair Park 6, and High Point 5. Some of the other NPU participants were from all over: Midtown, NPU B, D, E, H, I, L, M, Q, R, S, W, and Z. So we're excited that people have bought them, from all over the area. And also wanted to say that when you're at the brick site, we have a couple of large 8x8 inch bricks where you could scan if you're visiting the site with your friends or family. They can scan their phone over these large bricks, and it'll take them right to the website so that they can purchase them. Can you all still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's see, we got a logo that we're working on. It's in production, so we'll be having that and released soon. With regards to the next section, that the bricks are for sale, it will be at the other end of the trail, which is where the new streets, Pittsburgh Yards Avenue and McDaniel Street Southwest intersect. So that off-ramp at the Southside Trail West, where they're working on that for next summer, we will be selling bricks up until that time, and ideally have that section installed in the same time frame of the Southside Trail being completed. The cost is still $50 for the installed bricks and then $20 for the miniatures. And that's about all that I have. We'll be putting a final sealant coat on it soon, as soon as it stops raining, actually. So again, thank you for everyone participating, and we look forward to continuing working with Pittsburgh Yards this year.
All right, thanks, Michelle. I guess I was having technical difficulties on my end as well in terms of bringing the
Okay.
document. I guess Murphy's Law
Thank you.
happens on both ends, but I will show that now. Let's say. Oh, one second.
I'm putting the website where if you're still interested in purchasing bricks, you could take that down or click on the. Does anybody have any questions?
Oh, John posted the website already.
Pardon?
John posted the website for you.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you, John.
Can everyone see my screen?
No.
I guess not.
See your smiling face, Walter.
Okay, well, I will just move on as well. Technical difficulties. And so we'll just move on to the next step. And what I would do is I'll just upload that document to the chat so you are able to receive that as well and actually visually see what Michelle so graciously did and refer to that. We will move on to our next portion of the update meeting tonight. This is the portion that I guess we are calling our tenant talk, where we'll have a couple of tenants that'll be moving into the building. Just kind of speak to those that are potentially thinking about moving to Pittsburgh Yards, and just talk about their experience as well as their anticipation. And I know we have one particular tenant that is just busting at the seams to talk about, you know, their excitement as it relates to moving into the building. So we'll start off with Dr. Brown. He is one of our tenants that is runs a non-for-profit called Youth Centers for Change, and he's going to speak to what he's looking to do once he gets his space inside Pittsburgh Yards. Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
Can everybody hear me? All right, I see some thumbs up. Okay, hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Marvin Brown Jr. It's a pleasure to be here today. Again, my organization is Youth Centers for Change. I've been totally established since 2016. I've been working in the Pittsburgh, or actually been in the Pittsburgh area for like the last 4 years because I work at Gideon's Elementary School. So that's where initially the work started. What we primarily do is a community development and engagement program, working with the kids and the families of the area. Primarily what we're doing right now is urban agriculture to get the kids out to learn a healthy, sustainable lifestyle as far as growing organic fruits and vegetables, learning how a different skill, and also learn how to sell things as well for what they produce. Also, with that being said, that also rolls into our healthy lifestyle initiative, which actually includes fitness and health and wellness, which I've been doing some exercise classes with the kids and their parents at the school because I'm the PE teacher as well. So as far as moving to Pittsburgh Yards, this is kind of giving me a center hub because I am, like I said, I've been in the area for the last 4 years. So I've kind of gained some relationship with the families, the students I work with, the kids. So I'm just really excited to kind of get a place where I can actually expand out and grow from there. Also working with the other entrepreneurs in the area as well to kind of see what I can build programs out to help bring to families, because a lot of things they don't know that is actually out there for them. So I'm just trying to be a beacon to bring them together, you know, to actually help develop and grow their lives. So that's just some of the small things we do. Also with that, we have other initiatives right now. We're kind of focused on the urban agriculture, the community development, healthy lifestyle, and things of that nature. That's pretty much about it. Like I said, I don't want to take too much time talking to everything.
No, the more information, the better, because you never know. I mean, that's part of what Pittsburgh Yards is going to be known for, as a collaborative space. So you never know who you may be speaking to that may have something where they may be able to link up with what the services that you're providing. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know Tron, I definitely, Mr. Banks, I would like to speak to you as well, since we are, not only am I doing the area for the organic gardening or urban agriculture, I got a partnership with Ariel Bowen AME Church with Reverend Hope, utilizing some of their land for their space. So we're, raising money to build out the structures, to get the raised beds, also to build a compost, was it the water collection barrels, things of that nature, getting seeds. And then also there's a garden up the road in Mechanicsville. I believe it's ISIP Earth Garden. I'll try to get a partnership with them as well. So I'm trying to expand into different areas of not only Pittsburgh, Mechanicsville, Oakland City, West End, to kind of bring the area together and families together to bring a whole healthy lifestyle initiative so people can start having more sustainable lives with their youth and families, of course. Okay, I'm done.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, we love it. We love it. And with that, we'll move on to our next tenant. This is probably one of the most motivated tenants that we have so far. I don't know, there may be some other competition, but she is definitely in the lead. But we have Miss Mary Gay. She's gonna be speaking to us. Her business is Virtual Professionals. Go ahead, Miss Gay.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my business is Virtual Professionals. We are an employment and staffing agency for digital employees. We have been in business for 20 years and we've been home-based. And this opportunity allows me to go ahead and start expanding my vision. And this will be our first office in Atlanta. We're very excited because we've already started bringing on people who are going to train with us under our nonprofit to start working for the company. Our vision is that we'll be able to start these people out with a $15 an hour salary once they're certified and trained. We have partnered with some of the businesses on Georgia Avenue to place these people while they're in training, and this is going to give us an anchor where we can really do business with and partner with a lot of companies and create a lot of jobs within this neighborhood and online. So we're really excited. I've picked out all my furniture. I'm ready to move in. I got everything planned. I've started signing contracts for people who are going to be doing business and using the conference space in Pittsburgh Yard. We just have to meet with you, Walter, to get everything finalized. I don't have a lot to talk about other than I'm just excited.
You can talk about me. I mean, you can say how great I am. No,
oh, I forgot that part. I'm sorry. Nah. I did say I was gonna, and I have to tell you about Walter. He's incredible. He's been an awesome asset to helping me get established and getting started and figuring out what our process needs to be as we move in. How is that?
That was good. I did not pay for that, but I will
okay.
Send you, I will send it. It's in the mail. Let's just say it's in the mail. Wink, wink.
All right.
So we will move on to our next tenant as well. I think this tenant is probably one of the more significant tenants that we'll have in our space as it relates to the times that we are in now, as we are in an election cycle. I'm gonna ask Ms. Malika Redmond to speak about what her business is and what services they will be providing. Her business is Women Engage. Ms. Redmond, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Walter, for that introduction. My name is Malika Redmond. I am the co-founder and executive director of Women Engage. We've worked in the Pittsburgh community, Adair Park, Capitol View Manor, West Side communities since 2014, activating our communities to vote. And so we do C3 nonpartisan voter education, voter registration, get out the vote, census education, election day protection, post-election surveying. and we provide that for our communities. If you live in those neighborhoods, you may have seen my folks with the purple, white, and yellow t-shirts that say "We Vote, We Rise" on them. We also hire folks that live in the communities. So we do that as well, and we train our community to be able to do the voter activation, education type of work. And so we're excited to be able to move our space, our office space, literally in the communities, well, really back to the neighborhoods where we work. We actually started, I actually started Women Engaged in my dining room in my home in Capitol View Manor. So we're actually moving our office back from downtown back over to the community. And so we're so excited to be in the Pittsburgh Yards and to be with all of you who are doing such exciting work. And so I'm looking forward to getting a chance to meet all of you. And just to piggyback off of what Mary just said, you know, now our work is totally virtual. So I may need to talk to you about, as we're ramping up and hiring people to be able to do voter engagement work through the end of this year's election cycle, which may extend into December. And so we're looking forward to being in community.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. So having said that, I know some of you are asking, and I've seen some of the comments in the chat in reference to leasing. We do have spaces available. For those of you that don't know, Pittsburgh Yards is mainly broken up into 3 wings. We have a north wing, we have a south wing, and we also have a west wing.
Can dial up.
Let me mute somebody. And so with each of those wings have somewhat of a primary goal that we like to see in terms of grouping particular business types and particular types of uses together. So we have, it's interesting to see virtually, we are already having collaboration going on, and we're not even in the building yet. But in our north wing, we like to see more of our traditional businesses as you would have in the office space, be that attorneys, be that insurance, real estate. In our south wing, more of our creative type, so that's more of our artists, our photographers, our graphic designers, our videographers, filmmakers, etc. And then in our west wing is more of our maker space, so that would be more of our area where our noise makers would be, right? So there would be people that will need space for shop working skills as it relates to woodworking, maybe cabinet makers, sheet metal work. And so those are the types of wings that we have. And depending upon the type of use that you're looking to do, we don't have a specific way to push you, but we just like to have certain groups together just so those natural synergies happen as it relates to the business uses. As it relates to being able to come into the space, I think I mentioned that at the top of the meeting. October 1 is when we will officially be opening. So we will be using that as our hard date for the final move-ins. In terms of anyone that has any questions as it relates to leasing, particularly touring, you can literally tour with me any day. I usually like to do it by appointment just because in most cases, there's a large lift just in terms of showing you what Pittsburgh Yards is and what it's about, what the opportunities are, and not just literally just showing you a space, because there's more to it. We have a shipping container site. I think I saw some of you ask about that. So there are some opportunities there. We also have a food studio, which will allow for commercial kitchen use. And we also have a marketplace that will allow for retail use. There's also a residential component that we have with very limited residential, but we do have a residential component. And I think it was all already mentioned about the awesome views that we have from our rooftop deck. So those are the things that I would like to show you once we kind of do an initial tour. Then from there, we kind of decide where you want to go. But if anybody is interested in touring, I will put my contact information in the chat, as well as you can drop by. I'm here all day, typically on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and any other day outside of that, just let me know when you want to tour, and we can make that happen. Any questions as it relates to that? Any other questions as it relates to Pittsburgh Yards as in general, I guess? Somebody asked about the updated timeline. It's 10/1, it's the date. And I'm trying to read through the chat questions that I see or I may have missed. Someone asked about a directory of businesses at Pittsburgh Yards. So there we'll have an application tool that will show all of the tenants here at Pittsburgh Yards, whether you are a co-working member or if you are a tenant. So that will be something that we will have on file, so you'll be able to know who's who and who's where. Any other questions that I may be missing? I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Miss Gay. So obviously, because her birthday is in October, it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful month to move in. She is saying, everybody. So just letting you know.
And Ms. Redmond, I sent you a private message, by the way.
Okay, I'm having a hard time finding my chat. Sorry. But otherwise, I can also be reached, and if anyone's interested in volunteering or anything like that, you have a passion for what's going on and want to get involved to support people getting activated, voting, and understanding how to prepare a voter plan, you can reach me at Malika at womenengaged.org. And that's just Malika, M-A-L-I-K-A, at womenengaged, WOMENENGAGED.org. And our website is womenengaged.org.
Thanks for that, Malika. As well, I would say, I think, Tron, you already put your information in the chat. Dr. Brown, if you don't mind, if you could place your information in the chat. Well, and then Ms. Gabe, you can do that as well. That would be awesome. Just in case people want to talk to you. Do we have any other questions or concerns? Definitely wanted to give a shout out to the whole Pittsburgh Yard teams. I see a lot of the Annie E. Casey team on the call, Miss Chantel, I see Kiku, I see Natalie. Am I missing anybody else from the Casey side? And also, as it was stated in the beginning portion of the call, can't do it without our marketing team. Mr. John Cox is on the call as well. But anyone from the Casey team wanted to have a couple of words or any updates from your side outside of Miss Flynn? Okay, having seen none. What I would do, I will post my information into the chat. So if anyone needs any further information as it relates to Pittsburgh Yards in general, and then as it relates to touring, definitely reach out to me. I would love to meet with you and just show you the space and give you all of a deep dive as it relates to the building, as well as the opportunities that are here at Pittsburgh Yards. This meeting is being recorded, so if there's any piece, maybe if you came in late, you'll be able to catch the beginning portions as it relates to some of the, I saw some of you did come in, you may have missed some of the BeltLine updates and then some of the construction updates that were provided during the top of the meeting. Any other questions for me? If not, I will call it an evening and let you guys enjoy the rest of your time.
And actually, Walter, I'll just add really quickly, just for everyone's edification, Walter, when you get that recording to me, we will get it posted to the YouTube channel as quickly as possible. Then we will share that out to Facebook, Instagram, etc.
Thanks, John.
Hey, Walter, Natalie posted a comment in the, well, Natalie, you posted a comment in the chat about the container businesses. Can we get a little update on that? And are those containers enough room? I think I saw a rendering where they had enough room for like 2 spaces. Is that accurate? You know, like a business space and then, I don't know, a living space or a break room or whatever kind of thing.
The container spaces, I don't think we have any renderings on those as of yet. I mean, they're mostly conceptual, and the teams that are working on the shipping container side, they're actually still working with the contractors to design and see how that fabrication process would work. So I'm not sure exactly, unless there's something that I may have missed. Chantel or Ryan, do you know from the shipping container side what she's speaking of?
That may have been like a year ago where I saw something, and I was always curious what the possibilities for it.
In terms of the number of container businesses that we'll be locating, as of now, we have enough space in the container courtyard for about 10 containers. And those are 40 by 8 in terms of the depth of the spaces or the size of the containers that can locate there. Sorry, thank you. We have Mr. Anthony Pope on the meeting, who is actually the architect for many of the container businesses that will be located. He put in the chat 12 units, 40 by 8.
Thank you, sir.
In terms of size.
Okay. And then one last question: has there been the vendor that's going to run the I guess the cafeteria or food court thing yet? Has that vendor been selected yet?
So we're currently talking with someone to take that space, but that has not been finalized. So I won't disclose who we're talking to, but we are in negotiation with them.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions or concerns? And I don't see anything. I'm trying to see if there are any other questions in the chat. And I give another shout out to Mr. Anthony Pope. I didn't see him down there, but thanks Chantel for letting me know that he was there. And also I want to definitely let everyone know that Mr. Ryan is on the call. Also, I go to in terms of expertise as it relates to the building. Then, as I mentioned from the Casey team, Miss Natalie and Kiku as well. Thanks everyone for attending the meeting tonight. We had some technical issues on our first, or at least my first virtual community meeting with you all. Hopefully you got the information that you need and you found that this was beneficial. We will likely have these, if not monthly, at least quarterly, to keep you posted, especially as we go into this next phase of the opening of the building. Definitely, if you have any questions or if you want to speak to me offline, I put my contact information in the chat field. Definitely reach out to me. And other than that, I wish everyone a very, very, very good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you, everybody.
Everyone be safe. Everyone be safe. Have a blessed evening.
Good night, everybody.